since we're in the business of asking people for their best Hatch impressions. What do you got?
Kind of like what Chandler said, but there's certain times when we're watching like film of the game and he just kind of, he'll take his hat off and just kind of start rubbing his head. What do you see? You know what I mean? Just give me, but it's more like when he looks at you and doesn't really say anything, that's worse than when he is yelling at you. So I'd much rather him say something than just look at me.
Last year this time there was 2 quarterbacks at Media Day. Now you're clearly the guy. And how different is this offseason knowing that this is your team? Does it change anything, or does that competition, some people say, pushes you?
I think the competition last year definitely kind of pushed me as a player, but this year more, it's different. But this year more, I've had a year under my belt. I've gotten to play with these guys for a season, obviously, and I'm just getting more chemistry with them. And like someone like Chandler and other receivers, we're just trying to figure more things out. So it's a little different in that regard, where I got a better relationship with my receivers, other than just trying to go win a job. If that makes sense.
Were you approached last year to transfer elsewhere?
I was not. I did not enter my name in the portal or anything. I love Samford and I want to be here, so that wouldn't have changed even if I was.
What is it about playing for Samford? You've been through an interesting journey in college, but you're from here. What does this city mean to you? What does this school mean to you? And what does Coach Hatcher mean to you?
I love Birmingham. I mean, obviously I grew up here. I went to Briarwood in high school, and I've told this story a couple times, but I really wanted to come here out of high school, and Coach Hatch offered me a walk-on position, which I almost took. I ended up going to Murray State, so when I had the opportunity to come back, I was definitely really excited. And it's just the difference between like Samford, and I've had a great experience at my other 2 schools, but the culture here is just unbelievable. Like they all said it, the players were such a tight group, and it's kind of, I've compared it kind of playing in high school, where you're best friends with everyone, and that's how this team is. They're best friends. And then, Coach Hatch, he's the leader of us all, and he's just so fun to be around like every day. He's got a perfect, like, we're trying to win, but also we're also going to have fun at the same time, and I think we really enjoy playing for him.
Speaking of transfer portal and your journey to different schools to get here, sometimes, there's that great debate. Is that negative? Is it teaching the people to leave and move on instead of stay put? What's something positive you've taken out from playing at multiple schools?
One, I've gotten to meet a lot of great people. At Murray State, Junior College Northwest, and here, I've gotten to meet so many great people that I still stay in touch with every day. And I think, it just, there is a lot of negatives to it, but you can find, each person can find like their best experience almost. You don't necessarily get stuck in one place if it doesn't work out for you like you might have a long time ago. So there's a new opportunity for you.
How much better do you think you can be this season now that this is your offense? You have the continuity from a year ago and had a pretty hell of a good year last year. How much better do you think you can get individually?
I think I can be a lot better. My goal is, not statistics and all that, is put my team in the best position to win. And, I have such great teammates around me that I have the ability to do that. But, you go back and you look at film from last year and you're like, wow, I can be a lot better. So I think there's a lot of things to work on from last year and improve.
How frustrating was it being hurt last year towards the end of the stretch? I mean, that's where you guys wanted to be, and just to be hurt, you kind of did you think about that in this offseason and trying to get back to that moment?
Not necessarily think about it. It was definitely frustrating. You just want to be out there with your guys. Thought Quincy did a great job, though, when he got in. Obviously, y'all saw what he did. He's an unbelievable player, but it is definitely frustrating. That's what you work for all season, is kind of getting there, and the win or go home mindset. Or there are a lot of fun games, so it was definitely frustrating. But yeah.
We've been asking a bunch of your teammates about the opportunity you have week 3 when you guys go down to Auburn. Obviously, I know you're a week at a time, but locally that game's going to have a lot of buzz. How excited are you to head on that field and have an opportunity to beat an SEC school?
It'll be fun, like you said. We got 2 other games before that, so we're focused on those. But I grew up an Alabama fan. My whole family went to Alabama, so I grew up not really liking Auburn. But I got a lot of friends. My fiance went to Auburn, so it'll be fun to get to play there and have a bunch of like my friends there as students at Auburn. So.
Did you ever go to any Auburn camps, or were you more like an Alabama camp guy in high school growing up?
Like football camps? I didn't really go to football camps growing up. I was more of a baseball guy growing up. But I definitely went to more Alabama games. I'd go to tailgate at Alabama every week, and we'd go to every home game. So definitely more of an Alabama guy.
Michael, as you walk into the season and you start preparing in this fall camp,
what's changed about yourself that you've noticed as you walk into this year?
I mean, kind of like I said earlier, I'm not necessarily just trying to focus on winning the starting job. Which last year in doing that, I was trying to do the best I could to help our team win. But this year, there's more. Like I said, we've played a year together, and we're trying to improve on things that maybe we weren't as great in last year before the season starts. So, I mean, that'd be my answer to that.
What's harder, prepping for a season or prepping for a wedding?
Well,
She's getting married.
Shut up.
Fortunately for me, Kylie, my fiance, is doing all that, and she did some wedding planning, so she's pretty good at it. So I assume it's a lot harder on the girls' part than the guys. So it's been pretty easy for me so far. I just had to do a little guest list, and I didn't finish it in time when she wanted me to, but I got in trouble for that. But
I know
hadn't been too bad.
He's off to Clemson, but you went to high school at Briarwood. How much do you know of Zena, and do you have any relationship with him?
CV, I do. Yeah, we played golf right before we went out. He's a great kid. He's a great player. I'm hoping he has a really good career at Clemson. But, yeah, I know him pretty well. So he's a really good guy.
We just had your teammates say you kind of have that Joe Burrow quality. Do you feel like you have a level of swagger to your style of play?
I don't know if I got his level of swagger. I can't pull off the coats and the chains and Cartier glasses that he's wearing. But, I mean, what I admire about Joe Burrow is he'll do anything to win. And I think everyone in the locker room really likes him, and he's a really good leader. So I look up to him in that way for sure.